Most individuals assume that recognizing jealousy is straightforward. They believe it always reveals itself through obvious actions, dark expressions, harsh remarks, or distant behavior. Yet this notion represents a dangerous misconception. Those who harbor the deepest jealousy rarely raise their voices or display open contempt. Instead, they smile warmly, move closer, ask questions, and pretend to demonstrate genuine care. They appear friendly, even approachable, but beneath these inquiries lies something far from innocent curiosity. These are calculated tactics designed to diminish your happiness, plant seeds of doubt, and make you question yourself without realizing it in the moment. Here lies the element that almost nobody explains to you. Jealous individuals do not act spontaneously. They consistently follow identical patterns, repeatedly asking the same questions disguised as concern. There are 5 of them, and they deploy these continuously. Once you learn to identify them, everything transforms completely. You stop falling into their game. You recognize the trap before stepping into it. And you begin safeguarding your well-being with a clarity you never possessed before. Today, we will examine these 5 disguised questions. We will understand why they get used, and most importantly, we will learn how to respond without surrendering your energy or your peace. Because your achievements belong to you, your happiness belongs to you, and nobody possesses the right to diminish them with remarks dressed up as interest. The first question stands among the most widespread and dangerous ones. How did you manage to afford that? Picture this scenario. You have just obtained something that fills you with pride. New shoes, a phone, something you have desired for so long and purchased through your own efforts. You feel happy, excited, riding a high wave. Suddenly someone approaches and asks, "Wow, and how did you pay for it?" At first glance, it seems like an ordinary question, almost friendly, as though they simply want to know. But pause for a moment and listen carefully. Did they offer you any compliments? They did not tell you that you deserve it. They did not celebrate alongside you. Instead, they went straight to your wallet, your finances, your private matters. Why? Because a jealous person feels uncomfortable seeing you move forward. It bothers them to watch you enjoy something they do not have or cannot allow themselves to have. So they attempt to place you in an uncomfortable position, forcing you to justify yourself, making you feel that perhaps you did not deserve it or that you should feel guilty for obtaining it. That is where the trap lies. The instant you begin explaining, you have already lost ground. Write "deserve" in the comments if you accept your success without guilt. Without realizing it, you shift from joy over your achievement to the need to defend it. You start acting as though you owe them an explanation, as though you need permission to be happy. And that is not the case. When a jealous person sees you happy, they see themselves confronting their own dissatisfaction. Rather than feeling joy for you, they search for cracks, they question everything, they make it all uncomfortable. They try to strip value from your moment. This is why many individuals fall into responses like, "It was on sale," or "I saved up for a long time," or "Actually, it did not cost that much." Pay attention to what happens there. You have just minimized your achievement. You apologized for enjoying something. You transformed what made you proud into something small, which is exactly what the other person wanted, because now they can soothe their own ego by thinking it was not a big deal. In this way, your special moment shrinks, and they feel slightly better about themselves. But it does not have to be that way. A much more powerful way to respond exists, something simple, direct, and free of explanations. You can smile and say, "I worked for it, that's all." Or, "I treat myself occasionally." Or even, "I feel grateful." Short phrases, firm ones, that leave no room for further interrogation. The key is closing the door in a calm and confident manner, without opening unnecessary paths, without providing details you do not owe. Your finances are your business. What you purchase is your decision. How you manage your life does not need external approval. People who truly value you do not ask questions when you are doing well. They compliment you, they accompany you, and they celebrate with you. Everything else, even if it arrives wrapped in a smile, does not deserve access to your happiness. Sometimes these individuals even begin with compliments. They tell you things like, "That looks wonderful on you," or "You deserve beautiful things." But it does not end there. The jealous person never stops at the compliment. They dig deeper, they investigate, they search for invisible flaws. Their objective is not to celebrate with you, but to find an emotional crack to make you feel uncomfortable. Because if you doubt, they feel reassured. This is why it becomes so important not to allow anyone to interfere with your happiness. Protecting your enthusiasm is also a form of love toward yourself. The second question appears precisely when you are most enthusiastic. Do you really think that's a good idea? Imagine this. You feel excited about a new job, an important decision, or a dream you have finally dared to pursue. Perhaps you are thinking about relocating to another city, launching your own project, or learning something completely new. You feel motivated, full of energy. And then someone drops this seemingly innocent phrase. Within seconds, something extinguishes inside you. Enthusiasm transforms into doubt. You begin questioning whether you are making a mistake, whether you lack better judgment. But stop for a moment and analyze calmly. This person did not ask about your plan. They did not want to know which steps you have taken. They did not offer support and did not show confidence in you. They went directly toward fear, directly toward insecurity. This is not authentic concern. It is jealousy disguised as caution. When you decide to grow, advance, and take risks, jealous people feel themselves being left behind. They see you daring to do what they do not dare, and this places them face to face with their own fears. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel uncomfortable. Instead of supporting you, they try to slow you down. Not because they want to protect you, but because your movement reminds them of everything they do not dare to do. So they plant doubt, using a gentle tone, a worried face, to make you believe they are helping you, when in reality they are only protecting themselves from the discomfort they feel, watching you advance while they remain stagnant. Think carefully. If they truly cared about you, they would ask about your strategy. They would say, quote 11, or quote 12. That is genuine interest. But the jealous person does not follow the process. They simply drop the doubt bomb and walk away, hoping you will nourish that fear until it grows inside you. And how do you respond? With firmness and calm. Look them in the eyes and say, quote 13. No debates, no lengthy explanations. You can also say, quote 14, or quote 15. Because the truth is this: growth means risk. Living means risk. And you cannot allow the fears of others to become the prison of your decisions. People who truly love you might feel concerned, but they support you anyway. They tell you, quote 16. Jealous people do not. They only plant doubts and disappear. They do not want to help you advance. They want to stop you. Do not let them. Write quote 17 in the comments if you're ready to take risks for your dreams. Your dreams are worth the risk. And now comes the third question, one of the most painful ones. Who do you think you are? This one hurts because it attacks your identity directly. It starts appearing when you change, when you grow, when you speak with more confidence, when you present yourself differently, when you walk with more certainty, smile with more assurance, and stop making yourself smaller to fit in. That is precisely when someone tries to remind you of the place where they think you should remain. Maybe you started dressing better. Maybe you stopped tolerating disrespect. Maybe you began establishing clear boundaries where previously you stayed silent. And then someone appears with phrases like, "And who do you think you are? Have you changed already?" Or the classic, "Now you think you're better than us." In this moment, something stirs inside you. Guilt appears. You feel uncomfortable. And without realizing it, you begin to retreat, to return to your old version, just to make others feel comfortable. But stop right there. Ask yourself a key question. Why does your change disturb them? Why does your confidence make them uneasy? The answer is clearer than it seems. Jealous people need you to stay the same. Small, predictable, easy to handle. Quiet. Because when you change, when you become stronger and more confident, you remind them of something they do not want to see, that they are not moving forward. Your evolution holds up a mirror to them. It shows they are standing still, and instead of using it as motivation, they react with anger, bitterness, subtle attacks. They do not say, "I'm happy to see you like this." They do not recognize your effort or your journey. On the contrary, they try to make you feel bad because you are improving. They punish you emotionally for your growth. They reproach you for daring to do more. Think about this for a second, because it becomes absurd when you see it clearly. They actually get irritated because you are happier, because you feel stronger, because you have more confidence in yourself. Does that seem like friendship to you? Does that seem like affection, genuine support? No. It is insecurity. It is fear. It is jealousy masked as criticism. They want you to return to the old version, the one that doubted, that made itself smaller, that did not make anyone uncomfortable. And what is the best response? Do not argue. Do not justify yourself. Do not try to convince them you are still the same. Look at them calmly and say something simple but powerful. I'm becoming who I'm meant to be. Or even, I'm growing, and I like the person I'm transforming into. And then continue your path. Keep growing, keep shining, keep building yourself, because people who truly love you celebrate when you rise. They applaud when your energy shifts. They feel happy seeing you different. Jealous people only miss the version of you they could control. Never go back there. Growing is a duty you owe yourself. Let us move to the fourth question. Isn't that a bit much? Imagine this situation. You feel happy and you are celebrating something important. Perhaps you shared an achievement, good news, or simply prepared well for an event. And someone comments, "Isn't that a bit much? Do you really need that much attention? Or why are you showing off now?" Instantly you feel shame. You feel uncomfortable, as though you were exaggerating, as though you were taking up more space than you are entitled to. But here is the key question that almost nobody asks themselves. Too much for whom? Too much according to whom? This criticism does not speak about you. It speaks about them, about their discomfort seeing you enjoy yourself, about their inability to tolerate your radiance. Jealous people struggle to see someone happy, confident, and capable of expressing themselves without fear. Your light forces them to see their own lack of fulfillment. That is why they try to lower your volume. They tell you that you are too loud, too proud, too successful, too confident. But here is the truth that few dare to say out loud. You are not too much. You are simply too much for them. Your light is intense for their darkness. Your joy is strong for their silence, and instead of working on themselves, instead of igniting their own spark, they try to extinguish yours. Do not allow it. Your radiance is not the problem. The problem is that not everyone is ready to see it. Write light in the comments if you decide to shine without apologizing. What do you respond in that moment then? Smile calmly and say something simple like, "I'm simply being myself," or even, "I'm happy and I won't apologize for it." You do not need long speeches or detailed explanations. Strength lies in simplicity. Keep the message clear, firm, and free of guilt, because you do not need to make yourself smaller, hide, or dim your light to make others feel comfortable. People who truly support you do not ask you to lower your volume. On the contrary, they rise with you, they celebrate your energy, and they walk alongside you. Jealous people prefer you silent, invisible, reduced. Do not listen to them. Allow yourself to be expressive, confident, and proud of who you are. Shining is not a mistake. It is the sign that you are living. Let us move to the fifth and final question, and for many, the most uncomfortable of all. Did someone help you? Listen carefully. You have just achieved something significant. You put in the effort, you remained consistent, and the results arrived. Perhaps you received a promotion, completed a major project, or created something valuable. And then someone comments, "Wow, how wonderful. Did someone help you?" At first, it seems harmless, like simple curiosity. But pay attention to what lies behind it. They did not say you are talented. They did not acknowledge your ability. They did not highlight your effort. They immediately assumed the credit was not entirely yours. Why does this happen? Because it costs a jealous person too much to accept that you are capable, intelligent, and competent on your own. This idea does not fit the limited version they hold of you in their mind. So they search for someone else to attribute the success to, someone to thank, to applaud, anyone except you. And this question is dangerous because it can plant a silent doubt in your mind. You start thinking that perhaps the credit is not really yours, that perhaps you did not do enough. Without realizing it, you begin stripping yourself of value and surrendering the recognition that belongs to you. Stop right there. Certainly, there may have been people who supported or encouraged you, and that is valuable. But the effort was yours. The discipline was yours. The final result was also yours. So look at them calmly and respond, "I did this myself." Without justifying yourself, without adding anything, or simply, "Thank you. I worked very hard for this." Acknowledge your own merit. Take responsibility for your success. Claiming your results is not arrogance, it is honesty. People who truly support you say, "You're incredible," or "Your dedication paid off." Jealous people ask who helped you in order to erase your footprint. Notice the difference. One attitude recognizes you, the other makes you invisible. Do not allow anyone to minimize what you have built with so much effort. And now comes the most important part. When you hear these 5 questions, do not get angry and do not react defensively. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself something very simple. Is this person celebrating with me or trying to hold me back? This is the line that changes everything. Who supports you pushes you upward. Who feels jealousy tries to pull you downward. And once you see it clearly, you can no longer ignore it. Over time, you will begin recognizing these attitudes from a distance and protecting yourself. Not with aggression, but with firmness, with confidence in yourself. Because jealousy says more about the person who experiences it than about the person who provokes it. So continue. Keep growing. Keep achieving what you set out to do. Write victory in the comments to seal your growth pact today.